What's it like overall? Given all these experiences that you've been
Yes.
through, and given the role that you've had and tried to maintain, and then it's been difficult at times.
Yes.
You are living with that tumour, albeit partially treated. Let's call it.
Yes. It's still life limiting, and I don't
What's
forget
life
that.
like now for you?
I still, because I was doing voluntary work with another organisation, and that's sort of good and bad. So I'm not sure whether to continue with that or go somewhere else. So life is still, I wake up in the morning at the moment. We just come back from a holiday last week. It was a lovely holiday. And this week it's hit me again. What useful purpose when I get up, I'm like, what am I going to do today? And there's only so much gardening and sort of other work you can do. So sometimes I still do feel a bit of a loose end. I still don't forget that I've got a terminal illness. I hope, God willing, that I've still got quite a long time yet. So I'd love to. I've got one grandchild. I'd love to be able to see him grow up. My wife's been discharged. That's great. Our relationship is a lot more mature than it was before. So I think we, in general, support each other better than we did before. We go out for meals at least once a week, which we never did before. Life always seemed too busy for that. So in some ways life is better because I suppose I've experienced these things, and I also find it very rewarding doing stuff like this, being able to tell other patients, don't give up, there is hope, especially for me, maybe for some people there's hope in God. He has a plan for us. We don't know it. I don't know it. Thank God I don't know it, because it might say you're going to die next month, or in 10 years' time. You
seem to have a sense of humour about those thoughts that some people can't even address, like your own mortality, and you described your condition as terminal in a way. But you seem to manage to, exist anyway. You maintain a good balance even with that hanging over you.
Well, I guess it's 22 years of faith, or nearly 22 years of faith, a route that's been built. Don't get me wrong, if you said to me, you were my consultant, said, Chris, you've got 3 days to live, I would be gutted. Death is that close. Death is an unknown for me. I've not been to heaven or wherever it is yet. And so I'll be very scared. But until that moment comes, there's no point in me being worried, upset, living a life of depression or anxiety, because it doesn't help me, it helps nobody around me. God said, I've got a plan for you, and he's got a plan. He loves all of us. He's got a plan for all of us if we're willing to listen. I've got to listen to that and say, okay, what do you want me to do? Every morning I pray, what do you want me to do today, Lord? What good thing can I do today? And that keeps me going. Not that I think at the end of the day, I've done great things today. I don't. I just think, I wish I could have done more, but it's not been too bad. It's been okay. I've had a good meal out with my wife, or I've helped my son with his work, or I've done whatever. That's been good, and I'm still here, and I've still got work to do. If he wanted to take me, as the lady I talked to this morning before I came out, a quick pray with her, she said, Chris, with your type of tumour, it's likely that you would have died years ago. And I think I would. If I hadn't had that faith to sort of say, there is hope, I wouldn't have been. I was such a terrified person. I would have probably died of fear, or gone to a mental home, because I just couldn't cope.
Plus, you had a purpose, and those two things together maybe
exactly. That's right. Yes, right. It's true. Yes.
And I think from hearing your story there, which you've told very eloquently, I've heard a lot of positives actually come out of that adversity. You did have your fair share of complications, and you had that relapse where you had to go back into hospital.
That's right.
And have that second operation.
That's it. And after I finished that chemo in 2010. It's stable. They don't call it remission now, they call it stable. And so I was stable for 6 months. Was it 6 months? No, it wasn't 6 months, it was less than that. 3 months. And then it was starting to go back again. So in April this year, I finished another 6 months of the same type of chemotherapy tablets, temozolomide, I think that's it, temozolomide, that I had first of all. And that again has put me in stabilised.
I'd like to thank you for coming in today and giving us the benefit of your extensive experience. I know it hasn't all been positive for you, but there's valuable lessons in there for everyone, I think, both other patients watching it and clinicians who are watching it as well. Hopefully can learn some lessons from your